It's a blast from the past. Rock bands famous in the age of flower power are now making a powerful comeback. But one trio of Canadian rockers isn't making a Rush comeback because they've never gone away. Michelle Tracy joins me now with this exclusive story, you little rocker.
I am a rocker, Jan. Rush has been entertaining fans of all ages for 20 years, selling over 35 million albums since 1973. It's a track record matched by few others. So what's the secret to keeping loyal fans while still attracting those young whippersnappers? I sat down with lead singer Geddy Lee to find out. They're known as the Thinking Person's Band. And as veteran rock and rollers, some say they don't just sing about drugs, sex, or crime.
A lot of the subject matter on this album is about modern communication. And sometimes our view of it is a little cynical.
Lead singer Geddy Lee says the secret to success and longevity for this band is tough to define. He believes a lot of it relies on the message the band is sending to its audience.
From our point of view, it's interesting to talk about different kinds of things, experiences that we've gone through, experiences, things that we think about, unanswerable questions that you ponder out loud.
Whatever message Rush is communicating, it must be working. The band is right behind the Beatles and the Rolling Stones for all-time gold albums. They share third place with those costume rockers, Kiss. Kiss was one of those 70s bands that made a big comeback. And these guys said they'd reunite when hell freezes over. But it seems like the Eagles couldn't wait. And they, too, hit the concert tour after breaking up years ago. The fans ate it up, making them the top grossing band in the world last year.
As the boomers are getting older, they're bringing their music with them.
But are these teases of reunited bands playing greatest hits enough to keep new and old fans loyal? Some believe it may not be.
I'd like to think that it's not an intentional scam, but how many times have The Who retired? I mean, I saw them retire in, 78? I saw their last show at Madison Square Garden. They've been back 3 or 4 times since then.
A lot of the bands are kind of coming back as a sort of nostalgia. And, they're going out there basically, living on their past.
With so much competition out there in the music world, bands are now fighting for a diminishing piece of the rock and roll pie. According to Geddy, there can be some real winners and losers.
I think for a consumer that's a good thing because they have a lot of variety to choose from and they can kind of customize the type of music that they like. But I think from a marketing point of view and from a record company point of view, it makes life much more difficult.
So in an era where we've heard music genres like grunge, alternative, and hip-hop, perhaps what's key to keeping fans captive is not a fleeting trend.
You have to give as much as you can in terms of quality of your work. If you take the attitude and underestimate the intelligence of your audience or your buying public or whatever, I think people will know that.
As Geddy briefly mentioned, this latest album, entitled Test for Echo, is about the pros and cons of living in this high-tech communication age. Jan, it gives us all food for thoughts if you listen to the lyrics.
Do you think we're going to get more of these mature messages from these aging rockers?
Definitely. These artists and other ones like them, the Stones and the Who and everybody that's aging, know they're playing on a higher level playing field, and they have to compete for aging baby boomers' dollars, who are the big prime audience for them. So they know they've got to compete with that. And in fact, the guys in Rush are actually husbands and fathers, so they deal with life issues that you and I deal with, and that's interpreted through their music. Perhaps that's what is key.
Now, there's a lot of other aging groups, and they say, well, we're going into retirement. This is our last chance, our last album, and then you buy it, and then you find out they come back. You feel kind of ripped off.
Some feel it's a scam that these guys that say they're going to retire, and they retire 5 and 6 times, come back and forth, and you pay top dollar for those, quote, retirement concerts. So you might want to, pick and choose where you go, because, look, the bottom line is it's a business. They're going to come back if they need the money.
Well, you look pretty hip and happening out there, Michelle,
Rock
in your
on.
lime green. All right. Thank you.